And the dumbed down.
Well, sir, I know this. I know in the 70s, GM and others had cars that would give you massive horsepower, 300, 400, 500, and get 60 miles to the gallon. So they have all of that. And I remember 11 years ago, MIT saying they developed crystal ball search engine technology that as the public got integrated into it, they could predict almost 100% of the time mass movements, over 90% of the time individual movements. Now, Google last month came out and said and demonstrated they can now predict the future through these data systems. So the NSA is looking for trends, keyword data. We know that they have developed a lot of technologies across the spectrum they've suppressed, life extension being what they're chiefly searching for. And now the elites admit that they have this. They just don't want to give it to the general public. That's why they want to cut things down to 500 million in their own words, because they can't give life extension to the public. That's why they've got to have government take over health care, turn it into death panels, as Bill Gates now admitted 2 weeks ago. He said, yeah, kill Granny, hire 10 people. Hire 10 teachers. They're introducing the idea that we get ahead by killing people instead of the fact that we need people to continue to build our base, and world population in the West is dropping massively, 1.3 children for every two adults, and replacement's 2.2, because about 0.2% end up dying in car wrecks and other things. So you need parents to have 2.2 children on average to be able to even keep your population. The West is 1.3 on average. Japan's even lower. So they know what they're doing, and they sell the idea to greedy-minded, weak-minded people whose paradigm is somebody's got to lose for me to win, that, hey, let's kill Granny, you'll get 10 jobs. Of course, they mean they're going to kill those 10 teachers as soon as they can, not just Granny. And so they're introducing a new economic, what I call social cannibalism into our system. But go ahead and talk about some of the advanced technologies that this physicist was discussing.
Yeah, well, I made some quick notes to try not to hog too much of your precious time. But one of the things McCanney mentioned was the simple fact that in his laboratory he ran a simple experiment using a laser beam and a high-energy electric spark. And he discovered that the laser beam would be deflected towards the spark, and he carefully measured the effect and found that it was the same as the famous experiment where the sun bends starlight towards it, and that confirmed one of Einstein's theories,
Sure, light bends.
This may completely invalidate at least the interpreted results of that theory, and may render.
Listen. Here's another one. They've got mega massive radio telescopes, and when they point them towards one side of the universe, the laws of physics are different, and now when they're pointing them another direction, they vary, and so the universe isn't even constant. That was in The Economist this week. And that also mirrors what a lot of other research is doing. So it's that dimensional layering effect that over great distances...
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
The global ruling class is in competition against free market and wealth and individual intelligence. They want you not only out of the way, they want you dead. And you need to go read their own documents. Just search UN World Population Reduction documents. Eugenics. They don't just want to kill the infirm or ignorant. They're actually targeting the intelligent. They don't want competition. They're monopoly men, and the ultimate monopoly. When the Romans, somebody really gave them trouble, they just killed everybody. And many other cultures did that. And this is raw, brute power we're dealing with, and it doesn't have to happen. But a lot of you want to continue to live in denial, and so you're going to get hurt real bad. I'm going to get hurt right along with you. All right, I want to jam in as many calls as possible, but please have your point or question, because I've got to get to the next person. We won't get to everybody. Nate, John, Tom, Darren, Emmanuel, maybe David. I got a few other news items I want to hit. We'll cover more tomorrow, kicking off at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, of course, at the GCN Radio Network and Infowars.com. But Nate in California, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, if you look at it from a point of the government's trying to do what's best for the country, then obviously they're doing everything wrong. But if you look at it from the point they're trying to destroy it, then they're doing everything right.
And then we've got all their admissions that they want to destroy it. This is not our opinion.
Yeah. I also wanted to say word of mouth really works. I I just show everybody your videos. Anybody that has a computer, I say, here, check this out real quick. And then, so then my brother-in-law came back and he said he showed everybody in his little union that video. And then he said that one of his employees came back and said, thank that guy whoever showed you the Rise of the Republic. That's the one I showed him. He said, tell that guy thank you. I'm showing everybody I know. And so my one word spread out like a lot of people. So I just wanted to say it really works.
Absolutely. Look, the power of the human species, recognizing a threat, telling person by person, take action. You know, discredit these people, get local control, cut the size of government, prosecute the mega banks. And that's why the mega banks are, I may cover it later in the week, we're getting a lot of harassment, a lot of stuff. That's why it's important people buy the books, the videos, and support us, because, believe me, the enemy's coming after us in a lot of different ways. I just don't spend our time on it because I take the attacks as a sign of our success, but it's pretty serious. And if we give in to all this intimidation, they win. I mean, you can't roll over to these wolves. Who's up next? John in Wisconsin, you're on the air.
Alex, hi. It's a real honor. I've ever since '07, my eyes have been open because of Endgame. I would say you woke me up, but I think it just reconfirmed what I already knew all along about the world and the way things have been structured. So I really want to thank you. I've never, spent a dime on any of your products, but somehow your knowledge has gotten to me. So it's just a real honor, first of all, just to speak to you at all.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, we would give it all away for free if we could, but we do. People just get it all at prisonplanet.tv first, being members. That finances the bandwidth. I make the DVD films. People buy them, but then I say make copies of them. My mission is to reach people, period.
And really, I'm looking forward to that new eugenics film, because even the concept of eugenics was just, it was there in the background. Like all throughout college, it was always there. It was like watching an animal film on Discovery Channel or something. You got 90% of really awesome, visuals of animals and life and the world, and then that 10% of their bull, their message.
Isn't the world wonderful, but humans are evil. We've got to get rid of them. And that's so you turn off your self-preservation mode and see yourself as bad so you can live under guilt, and they, the government, and the anointed priest class, they're going to teach you how to be their slave to atone for your evil.
Exactly. And I was a mass comm major, so they really stuck it home, it was unbelievable, the whole screaming fire in a theater kind of concept and everything. It was really funny how they really try to hone down when you're trying to, study the press, just how much that you need to be under their thumb in order to really figure it out. I just have a real quick question and heads up. I saw a preview for the new CSI episode, the season opener. It looks like some kind of a big bomb thing. Like it looks like they're going to try to. It's Bruckheimer, So
the terrorists are going to get us. No, they simulate real terror all over TV, so people accept television as if it's reality at a subconscious level. So they're all so afraid Al-Qaeda's going to get them.
Exactly. So I just wanted to put that out there for any of the listeners. If they're watching it, let us know if it's creepy or whatever. I don't watch TV anymore because it's just such a sham. I guess the question I've got is, everything I've studied kind of hinges on 9/11. It hinges on the Israelis. I kind of wonder if Israel is just like the military arm of the Rothschild family. The Rothschilds have owned banking for so long. It begs the question, is this the muscle they've always wanted all these years?
I've studied the New World Order in depth, and if you look at Israel, England, Germany, all these countries are under the same management system. And so the globalists have spent a lot of money and time always trying to infiltrate our movement, almost like a cult, and make people only focus on one group or another, whereas we cover it all. When Israeli spies have been caught, working for Homeland Security, putting Americans on list, we've been covering it for 4 days nonstop. But again, we also point out NLE 09 and other documents where other governments are doing it. This is a global government, and all these countries are states of that world government. John, I appreciate your call. We got to move really fast now. Tom in Connecticut, go ahead.
Alex, it's a pleasure to speak to you.
Welcome.
Close to the belly of the beast at Skull and Bones here, about 10 miles away. Couple questions. I was wondering if you get a foreknowledge of who the up-and-coming Skull and Bones members are year to year.
Skull and Bones is Chapter 322 at Yale. It's only one of the elite little bevies of this system. And, I mean, you could go look at who the most elite families are, who the grandkids of presidents are, and, I mean, you'll know who Skull and Bones is going to be.
Okay. Another thing is something that's been a lot of people have been talking to me about here has to do with the Restore America plan. I don't know if you ever heard of it with Tim Turner. Do you have any knowledge about it and your thoughts on it, if you could, please?
No, I don't. And I appreciate your call, Tom. Darren in Canada, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going? I appreciate what you do. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling.
I just want to shout out a website, Vote World Parliament, on the topic of world government. If people don't believe it, go to voteworldparliament.org.
Oh, they've got hundreds of groups, almost all Rockefeller or Rothschild funded, just openly teaching kids. They take all the brightest students worldwide and put them in model UN organizations, just training them for world government, putting them in the petty power position of simulating being world leaders. And so putting in their mind, the power is global. The power is overseas. We give up our rights.
Selling a book, Rescue Plan for the Planet Earth, and then it's world parliament through global referendum. And another thing for Canadians to look up if they want to know what they can do, go to thinkfree.ca and look up Robert Menard videos on YouTube.
Well, and the good news is, and I appreciate your call, everywhere, Darren, in city councils and parliaments and regional parliaments, state legislatures, the EU Parliament, people are getting up, exposing world government, speaking out against Herman van Rompuy, the head of the EU, who's openly been announcing world government. And then, of course, their planes crash, but, you know, thank God some of them live, like the British member of the EU Parliament, Nigel Farage. But they can't kill us all, and they can't kill an idea. As Victor Hugo, the French philosopher, said, no army can stop an idea whose time has come. People, one of the most common questions I get is, why are you still alive? Well, if they killed Alex Jones, it would underline, it would highlight, it would put an exclamation point behind the tens of thousands of videos, the 26 films I put out, the books, the material. So they like to demonize me, you know, have Nightline come out and say I'm horrible, you know, have CNN do it, MSNBC hit pieces, mischaracterizing what I stand for and what I really say. But everything we cover is at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Everything we cover is in the films. Everything we cover is free all over the internet. If you want to buy the books and videos to support us, that's fine. But it's all there. When I say I have an IMF World Bank document linked here that calls for world government, world taxes,